Hey, what's up everyone? Stan Fletcher here again with episode number 12 of Let's Learn Ruby on Codecademy. So the last episode, we learned about symbols, mainly just symbols I guess, and then we learned a little bit more about hashes and also learned a couple new methods as well, like each key and each value. So yeah, today we are looking at I think another project called A Night at the Movies. So in this project, we'll use our knowledge of Ruby, hashes, and symbols to construct a program that displays, adds, updates, and removes movie ratings. So let's begin. With any luck, yep, okay. Okay, so what you'll be building. Keeping track of all the parts of our digital lives is a pain. Now that you know how to write Ruby, however, you can make things easy for yourself. Let's start by creating a program that will keep track of our movie ratings. It'll do one of four things: add a new movie to a hash, update the rating for an existing movie, display the movies and ratings that are already in the hash, or delete a movie from the hash. If it doesn't receive one of those four commands, the program will output some kind of error message. This project will give you a lot of room for creativity, but we know sometimes it can be a little disorienting to not have strict instructions. If you ever feel lost, don't hesitate to check out the example code in this exercise to help you along. Click Run to test drive our movie rating program and start building your own. Cool. So this is quite a bit bigger than anything that we have done up to this point. Just as per tradition from every other episode that we've done, we're gonna read this and try to figure out what this actually does and what the output's gonna be before we run it. Yeah, so first we have a movie's hash, and and we also learned in the last episode too, this different syntax of using symbols in a hash. So instead of using I can't remember what they call the spaceship or something like that, rocket ship. We can just create our symbols by putting the colon at the end instead of the colon at the beginning. So this is just a basic hash. We have memento with a rating, I'm guessing 3, primer 4, Ishtar, I don't know what that is, 1. So we're going to print to the screen a few things, it looks like. So what would you like to do? Type add to add a movie, type update to update a movie, display to display all movies, delete to delete a movie. So we're gonna get the choice from the user. This we haven't seen yet, but this just looks like a basic switch statement. Yeah, I don't know. So the case is going to be choice, so if the value of choice is add, we're going to do this block of code here. If it's update, we'll run this block of code, and so on. So if the choice is add, we're going to put to the screen, what movie do you want to add? Then we're going to get more input from the user, which will be the title of the movie. So I'm guessing this here, movies at the index of the title, we're going to convert it to a symbol. And if that is nil, which basically means if the title doesn't exist, we're going to ask the user, what's the rating? Type a number 0 to 4. The rating is, we're going to grab the rating from the input, and then, so movies at the title to symbol is going to be the rating to I, which I'm guessing means to integer. And then, yeah, so then we'll put a string that just says whatever movie they pass in has been added with a rating of whatever rating they pass in. Else, if the title does exist, so if it is not nil, we're going to put that movie already exists, its rating is whatever the rating is. And yeah, I guess, I don't know, I could probably step through the rest of the code, but it pretty much just repeats itself, but for the different commands. So I don't think we really need to. Let's just do it anymore. Anyway, they are a little different, I guess. So update. So what movie do you want to update? We get the title from the user. If that movie does not exist, we'll say movie not found. If it does exist, we'll say what's the new rating, and you can give it a number 0 to 4. We'll get the rating from the user, and then the movie at the title that they're trying to update, we will set movies at equals rating to integer. Right. So the value at the... Sorry, my head just sort of went in a different direction with this. So we're going to get the movie, and the value is the rating. So we're going to take the rating from the user, convert that to an integer, and assign it to that movie. Then we'll print the title has been updated with new rating of whatever the rating was. For display, we're just going to loop through or dot each on the movies with a key value of movie and rating, and we'll just put the movie and the rating to the screen. When delete, we put what movie do you want to delete? Get the title from the user. If that title does not exist, we're going to print to the screen that the movie cannot be found. Otherwise, movies.delete. This is a new function that we haven't seen before. Titles.toSim. So I'm guessing delete is just going to basically find by, ID or find by key, in this case a symbol, and delete that key value pair. And then we'll print whatever title has been removed. Else, it's an invalid command, so we're going to print to the user, sorry, I didn't understand you. So let's run this code and try it out. So I think the first thing I want to do is maybe see what videos are already in here, and we can see the movies Memento, Primer, Ishtar. Maybe I want to change the rating of Primer. I don't really think it's a 4, so I will type apparently that's right, there's no loop in this, so you can't continue executing commands. So that would be an interesting addition to add to this program, actually. Let's run it again and play with these other commands anyway. So update, enter, what movie do you want to update? Another interesting addition too would be to be able to actually chain these commands to say like update, name, movie, and rating all in one. Okay, so update, Primer, movie not found. Whoops, my bad. Apparently it is case sensitive. So we will type update, Primer. What's the new rating? I'll say 3. Primer has been updated with new rating of 3. Okay, so we did display, we did update. Let's try delete. Oh, and you can't have a space because we're not trimming white space characters. So I'll rerun the program, delete. Let's delete Primer. Primer has been removed. Okay, let's move on. So setting up. First things first, let's create a hash to hold our movies and their ratings, and let's promote the user, let's prompt the user for input so we can eventually store movie ratings pairs in our hash. A hash is a way of storing data by a specifiable key as opposed to an array which can only sort using numbers. It is created like above. Puts asks a question on the command line. Here we ask if you like coding in Ruby. In order to get the user input, we have to call .chomp on gets. Okay, so this is all stuff we already know. Let's get started. Create a hash and assign it to the variable movies. So movies equals hash.new. Put in your favorite movie, or you know what, let's just do the literal syntax here. And I hate that it puts 2 spaces. Put in your favorite movie as the key. And I don't really have a favorite movie, but hero 6, and I don't know what the convention is. Sorry, excuse me. And I don't know what the convention is with symbols, actually. Have I seen a symbol that uses more than one word? I don't think I have yet. We'll just do big hero 6. We'll do camel case. Oh, and actually, let's use the 1.9 syntax or whatever. 2. I can't remember the version. Big hero 6, and give it a rating. Yeah, let's say 4. Prompt the user for input with puts and save that input in a variable called choice. Choice equals gets dot chomp run. Okay. I don't know. Hey. Oh, it's not working again. I'll just try to refresh, I guess. Oh, right. I need to create a prompt. I don't know. What's up? I don't know. It's still locked up. This is definitely... Oh, here we go. No. Nope, still doesn't work. Oh, it passed though. Okay, so... Yeah, whatever. I don't need it to work. It says it's green. It's green. Okay, so the case statement. Good work. Now we'll want to create the main body of our program, the case statement, which will decide what actions to take based on what the user types in. If and else are powerful, but we can get bogged down in ifs and else ifs if we have a lot of conditions to check. Thankfully, Ruby provides us with a concise alternative, the case statement. The syntax looks like this. So you set your case, which will be a variable, and then you have a whole bunch of basically ifs. So like if language equals JS, do this. If language equals Python, but instead of if, we just say when. So when when language is Ruby, we're going to do this, and then we still have the else keyword in the case that yeah, I mean other like switch statements is usually what they're called, I guess, in other languages, and your default is just like a default key rather than saying else. Ruby just sticks with the else, I guess. So yeah, the else is what the case statement will do if it doesn't match any of its when statements to the case. In this case, the value of language. Below your existing code, create a case statement for the choice variable with the following when conditions. Sure, so case, choice, when, add, puts, added, when, update, puts, updated, when, display, puts, movies. Got a little typo here. Codecademy can be pretty picky about that stuff sometimes. When delete puts deleted. Deleted. Otherwise, else puts error, and then we'll need our end here, and that should be good. So let's run the program, And with any luck, we should see green over here, I think. Might have to refresh this too. Let's maybe just do that. This is definitely one of the buggier courses that I've used on Codecademy. Maybe I have to go through it. Add, enter. All right, cool, we're green. So next, prompting, redux. Great, let's build out each part of the case, one step at a time. We'll start with the add branch. So inside your when add block, remove the puts added statement. Delete. In its place, prompt the user for a movie title. So we'll go puts movie title, and then we will say movie, or no, we'll say title. Equals gets dot chomp. Save the result in a new variable called title, and we did. Next, prompt the user for the rating of the movie. Save that in a new variable called rating. Okay, so let's puts movie rating, and we'll put that into a rating equals gets dot chomp. Add that movie rating pair to the movie's hash and puts a message indicating the pair was added. No need for toSim or toI just yet. Okay, so we will, whoops, puts. Okay, so movies at the index of title. So we're creating, so I'm not doing any validation yet just because they're not asking me to. We're just assuming that the title is a new title, and basically if it's not a new title, it's just going to overwrite the title and the rating. So movies at the index of title will equal rating, and that should be good to go. So we'll say add movie title Frozen. We'll say 3, and we're green. Not my type. Perfect. Our program is really coming along. You might have wondered how we're going to get our movies and ratings from the user, which come in as strings, into the hash where we want our movies to be symbols and our ratings to be integers. Built-in Ruby magic to the rescue. Oh, hang on. And I'm back. One of the great perks of having a awesome wife who supports your YouTube aspirations is that you have dinner made for you while you're working. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, get back to coding. Where was I before we got it here? Let me just start over. So perfect, our program is really coming along. You might have wondered how we're going to get our movies and ratings from the user, which come in as strings into the hash where we want our movies to be symbols and our ratings to be integers. Built-in Ruby magic to the rescue. Ruby's .toSim method can convert a string to a symbol, and .toI will convert a string to an integer. Call .toSim on your title and .toI on your rating so that your movie titles are stored as symbols in the hash and the associated ratings are stored as integers. So title.toSim and rating.toI. Run it and we should be green. Run it. Come on. Error. Well, that's a very helpful error. Let's just maybe give this page a refresh and try running the code again. Try running. So add movie title. And we're green. Cool. Error. All right. We're nearly done with the add part of our case. The final thing we'll want to do is perform a check to see whether the movie to be added is already in the hash. To do this, we'll add an if-else statement. Add an if-else statement to the add branch of your case. If the movie isn't already in the hash, that is, if movies, the index of this, is nil, it should add the movie rating pair. Otherwise, it should put that the movie already exists and not add anything to the hash. Make sure to test it. So yeah, we will do, get the title. So if movies at the index of the title to sim dot nil, so that means it does not exist. We will, let's see here, do this, get the rating, add the rating. We'll just put this in the same line. Haven't really figured out what kind of style I like with Ruby quite yet. So else we will put movie not found for and syntax error unexpected keyword else. Why is that unexpected? Expecting a parenthesis. On line 16, movies at the index of title dot to sim equals rating dot to I. Oh, right here. Okay, let's try running that again. Add movie title, whatever. Movie rating 3. And it is. It's green. Cool. Next. Perfect. Let's move on to the next branch of our case statement, which handles updating an existing movie in the hash. This should be very similar to the work we did in the add branch. We'll do this in 3 steps. So inside your when update block, remove the puts updated statement. So you're gone. Prompt the user for a movie title and store it in title. Movie title, and the title equals gets.chomp, and then if the movie title is null, excuse me, if movies at the index of title dot sim, or sorry, to sim dot nil, not null, nil, sorry. So if the movie does not exist, we will put, let me actually read through these instructions before I just start assuming. So if it is null, then the movie is not in the hash. Please put a string telling the user there is an error. Movie not found. Otherwise, else, we will want to update the movie rating. So we want to get a rating from the user. I'm guessing we need to update the movie's hash. Prompt the user for a new rating. New rating. Rating equals gets.chomp. And then we will update that hash. So movies at the index of title dot to sim will equal rating dot to I. I think that's right. So let's run. Oh, syntax error unexpected keyword when, expecting keyword, and when display. And so I forgot to end my if statement. So let's type update, movie title, we'll say Edward Scissorhands. I don't even know if I'm spelling scissor right. Movie not found. And then just a test. Well, I mean, it says it works, but it's we'll say update, movie title, we'll say Big Hero 6, new rating, we'll say 2, and it works. Okay, so let's not run. Next. Display. Awesome. Now let's handle displaying the contents of our movie hash. This will be a little different from what we did for the add and update branches. Okay, so first remove the puts. Movies, when the user types display, we'll get rid of you. Next, iterate through the hash using .each. So movies.each. We'll do our little pipe thing. So for each, we want to put the title and the rating. So let's do, well, they want me to say movie, rating, puts, then using string interpolation again, we'll do movie, colon, and then our rating. And looks good. So let's just type, what's going on? Make sure to test your program by choosing refresh. Okay, so display. Cool. Very cool. Moving on. Okay, so delete. Almost there. Let's handle the delete part of our case statement, which will remove whatever key the user specifies from the hash. This will be very similar to what we did for add and update. Ruby makes it easy to remove a movie rating pair from our hash. We just write movies.delete and pass it a key. So go ahead and remove the puts deleted when the user types delete, get the title from the user, include an if-else statement that puts an error if the movie's not found. If it's there, use .delete to remove it as shown above. Excuse me. Make sure to test it out. So when delete, we will puts, which movie, and then we'll do a little check here. So if movies, the index of, oh yeah, shit, we gotta get the title. Title equals gets dot chomp, and so movies title to sim. Oh my god, I am very clumsy. Movies titles to sim dot nil. So if it can't be found, man, we don't have that one. Else, we will we'll prompt the user for rating. No, not a rating. No, we don't need a prompt for shit. We just delete the movie. Deleting all the wrong things. Else, you go here. This else is here. So movies dot delete at the index, or at the key of, I should say, title dot to symbol. Should be good. So let's, of course it's not. Unexpected keyword else, expecting keyword end, and of course I forgot again to include the end. So let's run it. We should be good. So delete Big Hero 6. It looks like we're green, and we are. Cool. So yeah, nice work. Fantastic. You built a little app with only a few dozen lines of code. Impressive, isn't it? I must say so. The 4 verbs your program knows, add, display, update, and delete, are universal. This acronym is better known as CRUD, for create, read, update, and delete, respectively. These are the actions you take when you update an entry in a database, ask a website for information, or write a blog post. Being familiar with this setup is good because you'll see it in everything from API calls to web frameworks like Ruby on Rails. Very cool. That seems like it's probably the end of this, and it is. So coming up next is the Zen of Ruby. In this course, we'll look at the best practices and conventions that make Ruby unique. Cool, so that wraps up episode number 12. Pretty cool lesson in concept. I find this actually with like all Codecademy courses, and maybe it gets better with a pro plan. I don't know, I've never actually paid for it. But with the free projects that they give you, projects, there's way too much hand-holding. Nothing about that felt challenging at all. I mean, coming from an experienced programmer, it wasn't challenging for me. But I kind of suspect that if you were coming to this course and Ruby was like your first programming language, you're like, what's programming all about? And this is where you ended up. I'm not sure if it would have actually been that challenging. It's really cool that they like present you with this project and some problems to solve. But the examples are way too close to what you actually have to write. And they give you all the code up front in the beginning. So, honestly, you can just kind of... I don't know. I guess I wish it was just a little bit more challenging. I feel like maybe you'd learn a little bit more. But that said, it is a nice way to get introduced to a language. You just have to take the initiative to kind of go beyond what these Codecademy courses are showing you. As is the case with anything else, you definitely don't want to stop at a tutorial and say you're good to go. You always want to be building your own stuff outside of the lessons and tutorials and courses and whatever you're taking. That said, I think the course overall is, whatever. It's pretty cool so far. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Give my video a thumbs up if you liked it. Click that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.